I am far from immune to the dings and the whistles of the phone, which is why I intentionally design my environment to make sure that they're not bothering me, they're not trying to take my attention. There was even a certain point where I had to lock my email account during certain hours because I was so addicted to checking it, to playing that roulette wheel to see, okay, is there something new there? It's like literally on a daily basis, continuing to take withdrawals out of your most important nest egg investment account. Meanwhile, when you implement strategies like this, you're putting more deposits into that account. You're putting more deposits into what's going to compound in a greater level of well-being in your life, a greater amount of joy in your life. First and foremost, in terms of strategies, design always beats willpower. Do not resort to using your willpower to avoid checking your phone. It's almost as silly as leaving the phone right next to your bed to wake up in the morning while it's not on airplane mode and saying,
"No, I'm not going to check my notifications."
Give me a break. And if you guys know Andrew Huberman from the Huberman Lab podcast, he specifically talks about it as well. You know, he's a guy who seems so attention-oriented and focused, and he's providing crazy value through his podcast to people. And he mentions every now and then that he has no control over it. If it's there, if it's on, it will take his freaking attention. So he does something similar to what I do. You keep it on airplane mode, and it's usually in the other room. But the point being here is that even with how much practice I have at this, I can still have a whole day thrown off by simply checking my notifications at some point before noon. It doesn't even matter if I've gone on a 2-day dopamine detox with no Wi-Fi and electronics, which I do periodically do on my rest and recovery trips a couple times a year. And the point being here is that even with how much practice I have at this, I can still have an entire day thrown off by simply checking my notifications. It literally throws my productivity down the drain for the day because my brain says,
"Hey, this is easier, it feels better, and we don't have to put effort into this. Come on, give me some more of it. Give me some more."
And I'm like, fuck. Okay, all right.
Let's spin the roulette wheel here. Oh, there's new emails. Yeah, baby.
Again, designing the environment by making sure that this thing is on airplane mode before you go to bed. For example, because I'm hyper aware that willpower will fail you at some point or another, I do my best to remove it. This is what I mean when I explain design always beats willpower. So most of my days, I leave my phone on airplane mode and in another room. Sometimes even locked away in a drawer so that I don't hear the dings going off. And even more important, if I'm super sensitive to it, whenever I walk into that room, I don't actually see it. Out of sight, out of mind. And most of the time, I actually keep the phone on airplane mode till 2, 3, 4 o'clock. I tend to make a game of it to avoid looking at it because I know I can get the most amount of work done. And when I hit that 3, 4, 5 p.m. mark, I'm pretty much done for the day and I can bring my attention elsewhere. Now, I'm not saying that you guys should go to that extent. I just find that with working from home, this works really, really well for me. And of course, the result of implementing things like this is that I regain tons of power back. I regain my attention back. I regain control of that I can direct to the things that are the most meaningful and important to me, the things which create the greatest level of satisfaction and improvement in my life. This is what helps bring me more joy. You know, while you can get a temporary lift of joy from the dopamine hit through getting onto social media or checking out that YouTube video at a time where you're probably procrastinating something that's more important to you, it's like literally on a daily basis continuing to take withdrawals out of your most important nest egg investment account. Meanwhile, when you implement strategies like this and you can do more work on the things that are meaningful and important to you, you're putting more deposits into that account. You're putting more deposits into what's going to compound in a greater level of well-being in your life, a greater amount of joy in your life, right? Guys, if you're getting something awesome out of this, make sure to hit the like button. It's a free way to support this channel, and it's a great way for me to know that this message is coming across in the right way. If not, then hit the dislike button or let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to improve on it. I mean, that's what this is all about. We're on this constant game of seeking abilities that we can create improvement in our lives. And one of the simplest ways to start this, which I barely touched on in this video, will literally take you 2 seconds before going to bed. It's something that I urge you to start tonight. And this is exactly what we're going to be going over in the next video here. This simple design element has made one of the biggest impacts in my life in terms of regaining my power back when it comes to my attention. Something that's drastically improved my mental health and focus, opening me up to actually having more time for the things that are even more important in my life. So make sure to check it out, like and share this video to support the channel, and I'll see you in the next one, warriors.